Okay. Now data source enhancement. Now when do we go for data source enhancement? Like we know that every data source will have extract structure. So extract structure is nothing but the group of fields what will be extracted from the source. Whether you create generic extractor or COPA, LO or business content extractors, every data source will have its own extract structure, which indicates the fields being extracted from the source. Okay. Suppose if we are not happy with the fields in the extract structure, we go about enhancing it by adding more fields to it. Suppose if you don't want certain fields, you can hide it. But if you want extra fields, what do? You go about adding it up. Now for what are the fields you add, we'll have to implement the logic for this. Okay. So basically we categorize this into two parts. One is enhancing an LO extractor, enhancing a non-LO extractor. When you look at enhancing an LO extractor, what do? If you're not happy with the field what is there in the extract structure, we in LBWE cockpit we try to maintain the field from communication structure to extract structure. If we don't have the field even in the communication structure, then you go for data source enhancement. Okay. Say for example, let's say I have an LO data source. I am not happy with some extract structure. How do? You inactivate the data source. You go to maintain, and if you are not happy with these fields, then what do? In the right hand side you see communication structure fields. You try to bring it from here. If you are bringing the fields from here, you don't have to write any code. But if you don't have your required field even in this communication structure, then you go with what? Data source enhancement. Clear on this? Okay. But if it is any other extractor apart from LO, if you don't have extract structure, so if you don't have the field in the extract structure, straight away you go for data source enhancement. That's the point. Yeah. So basically it will have two major aspects. One is, say you'll have extract structure, you add the fields to the extract structure. That's what we call it as what? Enhancing the extract structure. Then once you enhance with the new fields, we'll have to implement the logic to fill the value into those fields. And for this, SAP has given enhancement called RSAP 0001. Like for variable customer exit, how do we have RSR 00001? For data source enhancement, we have RSAP 0001. Okay. So two steps majorly. One is add your field to the extract structure and start implementing the code to populate value into this field. Now if you look at enhancing, assume you have extract structure with only 4 fields. You are not happy with this, you wanted 5th field, then what do? You go appending a new field to the structure. That is what enhancing extract structure. Here suppose, now when it comes to enhancing extract structure, if it is a non-LO data source, you enhance field directly to the extract structure. If it is LO data source, you don't add field to the extract structure, you basically append the field to communication structure, and in the maintenance you will move the field from communication structure to extract structure. Now how do you enhance? You just go to SC11, open up your structure and you just click on the button append structure and it creates an append structure. Then you start specifying the fields what do you want. Okay. I will show you this. And if it is LO extractor, what is, look at this, what I am doing. I am enhancing field to what? Not table, what is it? MCVBAP, what is this? Communication structure. And then once you append it to communication structure, then from communication structure we will move the appended field to extract structure. Then when it comes to writing code, it's all same. Whether LO or non-LO, it's all same. We start using this enhancement RSAP 0001. This will have basically 4 function models in it. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Variable customer exit had only 1. But this will have 4 function models. We will have to use the function model based on the type of data source. If you want to implement the logic for enhancing a transaction data source 1, for attribute data source it is 2, for text data source it is 3, for hierarchy data source it is 4. Yeah? And then that's the components, you start implementing this logic. Yeah? Now you should understand, now when you go to this function model, basically you will have an import parameter as I underscore data source. This is, you remember for variable customer exit, how do we have I underscore VNAM? Whenever you execute any variable with customer exit, it does trigger this code. Same way, any data source with enhancement will trigger this code. But what are the logic I am going to write? Will that be specific to data source? So then I use this parameter I underscore data source into my if statement. If I underscore data source equal to so and so, write my logic. If that is not the case, what I can do, I can also, if instead of implementing multiple if conditions, I can also implement what? Case statement. Case I underscore data source when my data source name so and so. Yeah. And if you look at the logic of this code, by default you will have the table C underscore T underscore data. Very, very important. Consider it. Let's say I had a data source with 4 fields, field 1, field 2, field 3, field 4. And you have enhanced the 5th field, field 5. Now when you go to the function model, by default when you take the control, when you write a program, let's say this data source is extracting 1000 records. By default you will have a table called C underscore T underscore data with filled with the data with all the 1000 records, but for all these 1000 records you will have only field 1, field 2, field 3, field 4 filled, but field 5 will be blank. So just have to catch hold of this table C underscore T underscore data, loop through record by record from this table and start manipulating the value for 5th field. That's the logic what you got to implement this. You should assume the C underscore T underscore data table will be filled with all the standard fields by default. After filling all the 4 fields, then it triggers this code. So when you look at this table C underscore T underscore data before processing, it will have all the records into this table with all the standard fields been filled. You should take care about responsibility of filling the enhanced field into. You should loop through this table record by record and modify that value for that record. That is what you will have to do with what? The function model. So look at this. That's something. This is what we try to do. Okay. Now let's see practical how do we do. So first I am showing you one with non-LO data source. Let's say RSA 5. I'm just trying to install some business content data source. Say I would like to install this data COOMCCA1. Yeah. Say what? If you double click, do you get this is ready-made extract structure, ready-made data source. So does it have ready-made extract structure? Yes. Just hold the name in it, yeah? So you will know what is the name of the structure. And these are the fields of extract structure. Okay, boss. But I am not happy with this set of fields. I would like to add my own field. Yeah. Is this an LO data source or non-LO? Non-LO. Good. Now once you hold this extract structure, then what I can do? Did I activate? Done. So after activating, before you replicate into BW, enhance this extract structure. So you can do this in 2 ways. One is you can open in, you can go to SC11 T code, select your data as data type, give your structure extract structure name, say display. So these are the fields. What is this? Okay. Now what I do, we don't add field directly to this. For this structure, we create an append structure. And it actually creates one more structure with the fields, and that structure gets added to this structure. Yeah. So what you say? Append structure. Then I want to create new one. Preferably we say double ZA and the structure name, or any name you can give. Yeah. So it is creating a new structure now. Append. Now I start giving out the fields what you want to append. But here what I'm doing, it's of no logic at all. Just dummy to just get you familiarized with the steps. Okay. So I'm saying we try to prefix the new fields as double Z, and something IND I wanted, okay, and I want this component type something. I'm using VB type something. I'm saying what is this here? SD document category. What is the length was 1. So this is the field I've added. Double Z IND was activate. Now when you create this append structure, and this structure will get added to your what? To your original structure, and the fields are added there. You do say no. If you go to this structure, do you get this field? Mana main structure lo double Z IND vachinda. This has come in because of what is this here? Dot append of this. You can double go dantlo or definition untundi. So instead of adding the field directly to your structure, we create an append structure with all the fields, and that structure gets appended to my extract section. Okay. One way of appending is this way, and other way is you can also do this in what? RSA 6. Select your data source and say what? I can click it from here also. Ultimately, what does it do? Ultimately what? Ultimately it is creating the append structure, either from there or here. Okay. Anywhere it's fine. Now once you append, you should make sure now from RSA 6, what do you say? Change your data source. And for the field what you have enhanced, you should see it here, double Z IND, and the hide is enabled. What happens? If I just leave it like this, what happens? It will not show in BW. So deselect ready for input, and hide and field only no exit should be deselected first. Now if I add a new field here, for this data source, do we have ready-made info source in BW? Yes. So my ready-made info source will give you info for all the ready-made fields. Now if I add a new field here, should I modify my info source with new info bit also there? Yeah. So now we have enhanced the data source. Now once it is enhanced, should I write my logic? We're using what? Enhancement. I can look at the enhancement here in SMOD, RSAP 0001. You can see the components now. It has got 1, 2, 3. Scroll down. You also what? 4. You can see documentation. But you can see help here. Now if I give you this enhancement and we have to implement it, what do? We create a project, assign the enhancement to the project and start work. You remember same like variable customer exit here. Where do you create project first? CMOD ZDS 001 something. Then what do you say? Say what? Create. Save. You go to what? Enhancement assignment. What it said? See, this enhancement is already belongs to the project ZBW 220. One enhancement can be assigned to only one project. But can one project have multiple enhancements? Yes. So either I go to this, so no one would change like this. So once the project is created, everyone would start using the same ZBW 220 components, change. You'll have this component, double click on one, because I've enhanced a transaction data source. If you don't know what type of data source is it, where can you find whether it is attribute data source or text or what? In the ECC, you'll have a table called row source, which will give you information about every data source. Now what is the data source type here? Tran. So by using the row source table, you can find out what type of data source. Based on the type, you will decide the exit. If it is transaction data source, you would use 1, attribute 2, text 3, and hierarchy data source 4. So let me go, you'll have include program here. See, you'll have import as what? I underscore data source, tables is what? C underscore. Just get insert include. Say change. See, do you already have a statement of case? Yes. I don't have to write now. I just have to include my code. You are Rasner already. Now I can write for my own data source. If you are not able to type in, you can click on the button insert and then start writing your code. Okay. How do you write your code? When? What is the data source name? So when I give data source name means what? When the data has been extracted using this data source, what is that you want to do? First thing what I would do is I would declare let me declare here itself data. I'll create one field symbol. For field symbol, how do you declare this? Field symbol same like work area only. Field symbol. What is it I'm doing? I'm creating a field symbol same as what? Your extract structure. Okay? Because the data in my table C underscore T underscore will be same as my extract structure. Now I'll say loop. Loop at what? Which table was? C underscore data. Assigning. Since it is work area, you will say field symbol, you will say what? Assigning. Same like start routine was. In loop, within the loop, what I will do? Field symbol icon. What is the field you have enhanced in this? Double Z, int. For each record, I want to put it as A. See, there is no logic here. I am just fixing the value as A. So all the records what it extracts will come into which table was? This table. I am looping through this table. For each record, I am putting the value of enhanced field as what? A. Fix. It will write. But I am just for you to understand the steps or logic. Yeah. Since it is field symbol, I don't have to write modify statement. If it is work area, I will have to explicitly write modify at index. Yeah. So activate. Ante. Now I want to check this out. Yeah. Can I check the extraction of this data source in RSS 3? How many records? 2496. First what it does, it will extract those 2496 records, goes to the table C underscore T underscore, it will loop through every record and puts what? A. So for each record it is extracted. Now if you go to first set, any record if you see, I should see a field what? What is this? Sales SD document category what? A. Do you see document A for every record? Like this, we can enhance the data source. If it is non-LO, straight away we will enhance extract section, right? Start implementing the logic. Okay. So now I want to show you one more example with some real-time example. Let's say I have this requirement. I have data source 2 LIS 11 VA ITM. 2 LIS 11 VA ITM. Now if I double click on this, it does have extract structure MC11 VA0 ITM. Okay, and this might it enabled for Delta, it's all okay. But when I look at these fields, actually I wanted a field called one second, let me remove that. Okay, boss. Let's say I install my data source. So this is my fields in the extract structure, but I actually wanted a field called profit center, but which is not there here. Okay, so what I do, I will install this data source from the business content. Then what do? You go to LBWE. First preference will be for maintenance. So you go to maintenance. So you click on the maintenance. On the right hand side you see all your structures, header and item level. Now if you have the required field here, you move it. Now but I don't have profit center even in this communication structures also. Then I need to go with what? Enhancement. And what will you enhance? You can enhance either any of these communication structures. So I am choosing this VBAP. Yeah? So what I will do, how do you enhance the communication structure? Go to what? We are appending field to what? Communication structure. Now go to communication structure display. Say what? Append structure from here and say what? Create. What is it you want? Double Z PR. Because for us to understand these are enhanced, we try to prefix them with what? Double Z and then data type PRCTR. I know. Char 10 and profit center. Active. Now will you see that field in the structure now? Because of this append, do you see this field in the structure now? So now we will go to maintenance now. Just let me close this out. Let me maintenance. Let me see the fields of what? MCV, BAP. Now go down. Now do you see your field here? Now select the field here and say what? Move it to your extract structure. So if it is LO data source, you will enhance the field to what? Communication structure. Then in the LBWE, we maintain this field from communication structure to extract structure. Done, okay? Yes. Generate your data source. And for the field what you have moved explicitly, okay, got to take care of this. Then what do you do? Activate it. Done was. Now once you activate it, for the field which we added, we need to write the logic. Logic came out. If you look at the maintenance extract structure, in the ready-made extract structure, it has got fields like it has field. What is field? Is this ready-made field? Will the value of this field is filled by the standard code? Yes. Okay. What is this field? Works, is plant. Even this is a standard field. When you see blue, standard field. Even that gets filled from the standard code. Okay? When you look at the table C underscore T underscore data, by default the metal and plant is filled because they are what? Standard fields. So if I see 1 lakh records in this table C underscore T underscore data, for all the 1 lakh records, the standard fields MATNR and works will be filled. Okay. Now my logic is, if you know metal and plant, okay, what I give you logic is, if you use a table mark, in ECC you will have a table called mark. It's like from mark table you can find out profit center if you know metal and plant. See, for given metal and plant, can I find out profit center from this table? MARC అనే టేబుల్లో నీకు మెటల్ నెంబర్ ప్లాంట్ తెలిస్తే దాని బేస్ మీద ప్రాఫిట్ సెంటర్ కనుక్కోవచ్చు. సో నీకు రెడీమేడ్ ఎక్స్ట్రాక్ట్ స్ట్రక్చర్లో మెటల్ MATNR ప్లాంట్ రెండు ఉన్నాయా? అంతే కదన్నా. C అండర్స్కోర్ T అండర్స్కోర్ డేటాలో ఆటోమేటిక్గా మెటల్ ప్లాంట్ ఫిల్ అయిపోతుంది. దే ఆర్ వాట్? Standard fields. I need to loop through each and every record, catch hold of metal and plant in each record, get the profit center and assign it to what? The appended field. Got the logic? Simple ante we are basically doing performing lookup to mark table based on metal and plant, which are the standard fields, and then fill the enhanced fields. I will write logic for this. Can I go to C mode? Can I start writing the logic for my data source? When? What do you say? Shall I declare a field symbol? I'll use the name of MC11VA0ITM. So basically I'm creating field symbol same as my extract structure. Okay. Now within this loop, what do you write? I would select what PRCTR, and whatever I select, let me put it somewhere into LV PRCTR. From which table? From mark. What is my where class? Where MATNR is equal to the metal number what is there in the field symbol, which is there already extracted. MATNR and works is equal to works in the table is equal to works what I have got in the extract ready-made extract section. So I will say if select student is able to read it, if what else? If size subbars is equal to 0, within the if state what will I write? What are the profit center I have got here, and let us assign that to this. Which one? From the output field symbol, double that PRCTR is equal to what? LV PCTR. Now should I declare this field? Data LV PCTR type. So this is something which you can't understand here. What I am doing for each record, you will take the record from this table, put that into field symbol. Now if you observe this record, all the standard fields will be filled, but the enhanced field Z PRCTR would be blank. From the standard fields, what is filled from the metal number? So how do I refer to the field of this? Field symbol hyphen field. From this field symbol I am referring metal number and plant, and doing a select on the mark table to get the profit center. And whatever I am reading, I am putting into a variable, and this variable I am assigning it back to what? For the field symbol, the enhanced field. Okay. నువ్వు ఈ టేబుల్ చూస్తే స్టాండర్డ్ ఫీల్డ్స్ అన్ని డేటా ఫిల్ అయి ఉంటుంది, ఎన్హాన్స్ ఫీల్డ్ బ్లాంక్ ఉంటుంది. నువ్వు ఈ టేబుల్లో లూప్ తిప్పుకుంటూ ఒక్కొక్క రికార్డ్ పట్టుకుని ఆల్రెడీ ఫిల్ అయిన ఫీల్డ్స్ మెటల్ నంబర్ ప్లాంట్ బేస్ మీద మార్క్ టేబుల్ సెలెక్ట్ స్టేట్మెంట్ రాసి దాంట్లో నుంచి ప్రాఫిట్ సెంటర్ తీసుకొచ్చి అదే ఫీల్డ్ సింబల్లో Z PCTR బ్లాంక్ ఉంటుంది, దాంట్లోకి వాల్యూ పెడితే ఆటోమేటిక్గా రికార్డ్ వెన్ ఐ మాడిఫై దిస్ ఫీల్డ్ సింబల్ ఇట్ మాడిఫైస్ దిస్ టేబుల్ ఆటోమేటిక్లీ. Okay, Ranna? And say start active. Can I test this data source? Can I test this in RFC3? If I run this extractor, it gives me 0 records. Why? Why? This is for full or init load, right? Full or init load gets data from select tables. Did we fill select tables first? No. Anta vadu. Let it keep running. I can try that out. అయిపోయింది. ఓకే, 101 రికార్డ్స్. ఏదో రికార్డు చూస్తే నా ఇఫ్ యూ సీ ద డీటెయిల్స్, ప్రైవేట్ సెంటర్ వచ్చింది. ఎంత వచ్చింది? 1200 వచ్చింది. విల్ ఫైండ్ ద లాజిక్. ఇదే రికార్డు ప్లాంట్ వాల్యూ ఎందుకు బస్ 1200. వాట్ ఈస్ వాల్యూ ఆఫ్ మెటీరియల్? చూడు పైకి. మెటీరియల్ అబ్జర్వ్ చేయాలి. మెటీరియల్, వాట్ ఈస్ మెటీరియల్? L-60C, plant 200. Now let me check the data in the table. Let me go to mark table. I don't want all. From the fields output, I want only you get all the data. ఏ మీటర్ చూడాలి? L-60C, plant 200కి. What is the profit center? So is my selectable bring the correct value? Like this you can validate. Okay. Next is if I want to debug this and see. Okay. If you want, we can also debug. So enable what is this? Debug mode, and make sure go to the insert a breakpoint. F8 to stop at, now it stops at breakpoint. Let's see the table C_T_ data. Already the data ఉంది. Yes or no? All the ready-made fields are extracted, but if you go to right bottom, everything is filled. But look at this. The double Z PR CTR column is blank. So I'm going to loop through that. Now let's start the loop. When the loop starts, you'll get one loop. You'll get one record in this field symbol. What is this? Is a record. In this record, what is metal number? L. So field symbol -m metal number will give you metal number. Field symbol -works will give you plant, and double Z PR CTR is blank. So after executing the select statement, now field symbol metal and plant, they are referring to these values. Now let's execute select statement. Now is my size subbar successful? Yes, it is able to read. Now I should find the profit center in this field. What is profit center here? 200 వచ్చింది. Now I am assigning this back to what? This field symbol profit center to this. Now if I go to my, would you say, ఇప్పుడు నీకు profit center values. Now do you have the value? No. Let me execute one line. Now the process. Did you understand what we are doing? At least the debugging. Now it keeps calling that code for every packet by packet. This is about data source enhancement.